it's nice to be sitting here with the jacket on. It's a good feeling. As far as the week goes, it was a pretty smooth week there for a while. We had the weather yesterday, which was a bit challenging, but and then the conditions changed pretty drastically this morning. But it was nice to get out there and make a couple pars and finish off the tournament the right way. Yeah, I mean it was part of our plan this week to come here and play, and I was able to go home for a couple days and celebrate, and yeah, it was. I didn't really put much thought into it. It was just I had committed to playing the tournament. That's really all that it was. It really wasn't too much thought on that. I committed to play here. It was part of the plan, and so we stuck to the plan. And I talked about it a little bit at the beginning of the week. I didn't show up here just to have some sort of ceremony and have everybody tell me congratulations and whatnot. I came here with a purpose and got off to a bit of a slow start, but after that I played some really nice golf. Not really. I think I do. I do have fairly high expectations for myself, and when I show up at tournaments, I try to do my best. And I've talked a lot about kind of the preparation and what it takes for me to show up on a first tee ready to go. And I feel like I've been putting in the work and been playing some good golf, and it's definitely it's nice to be seeing some results for that with wins. At times last year I felt like I was playing some good golf and wasn't winning, and so now it's nice to be sitting here winning some tournaments. I think majors are always just feel a little bit different. I think sometimes when you walk out onto the range at the tournaments, you can almost feel the tension in the air. I think especially at the Masters, I think sometimes you walk out there, you can just it just feels different when you walk out. At a normal tour event, there's still a little bit of that, but it's a lot more relaxed, especially showing up Wednesday and it's Pro-Am day, and there's AMs around and there's a lot of people, and it's just a little bit of a different vibe. But by the time the tournament starts on Thursday, it's fairly similar, and I try to be as prepared as possible this week. I think it would maybe take a little bit away from the win for instance, if I came in to yesterday with the lead and I wasn't able to win, when you get home, people would be saying like, "Hey, congrats, man," and then sorry about last week, and that would be pretty annoying. This really, for lack of a better, there's really no better way to say it other than that would be annoying. And so it was nice to come in here and put myself in a position to win and to be able to finish off the golf tournament. Well, I think it's always easier said than done to have a good attitude, in the midst of what goes on in the round of golf. And I think I've handled kind of the negative stuff the last month and a half as good as I have since I've been out here on tour. I think I look back to Bay Hill, and I got off to some poor starts there, especially on the greens. I had a really bad first day there on the greens, and I think I'm just proud of how quickly I've been kind of fighting back from those little mistakes throughout the round and handling the surprises and stuff when it doesn't really go as planned. I think I've become better at managing that. I'm not really sure. I think it's one of those deals where it's easier said than done to have a good attitude, and sometimes it can be easier, and I felt like the last couple of months I've been really good at kind of handling my emotions out there and keeping myself in check. And that's obviously a bit easier when you're winning tournaments, but at the end of the day, like, I have to get to this position. I don't just show up in the lead on Thursday. You have to play good golf and handle things well. You look at a tournament like this week, could be a good example of starting off, and I'm looking at the leaderboard on Thursday, and everybody's just making birdie after birdie, and I'm sitting there over par, and I've had a shank on the day, and I just did my best to stay patient and kind of waited until I got hot, and had a nice finish to the round on Thursday, and then had a really solid Friday where I felt like I played better than I scored, and then I had Saturday where I just played some really good golf, had a lot of opportunities, made some putts, and posted a nice number, and then I got off to a good start yesterday and kind of just kept it going from there. Yeah, hopefully I'll be a good dad. I'm going to do my best. I was talking to Meredith on the phone last night, and we both kind of were like, I don't really think it's officially hit us yet that we're going to be parents. I'll definitely be leaning on my parents for a good amount of advice. They did a great job raising me and my three sisters, and so they're still a big part of our lives, and this will be their second grandchild, and they'll have their third one on the way right after that. My sister's pregnant as well, and so it's an exciting time for Meredith and me. It's an exciting time for the rest of our family, and we're looking forward to this next journey in our life together. No, I didn't get to see any of the tournament yesterday. One of the people here asked me they're like, is this turning into a competition between you and Nelly? And I was like, I don't know, man. I think if it's a competition, she's got me pretty beat right now. I mean, 5 wins in a row. She had that T16 at the beginning of the year, which was just terrible. Can't believe she did that. But yeah, it's pretty special stuff. I mean, to win 4 times in a row and then show up at a major championship and win is extremely impressive. And so I'm extremely happy for her. And I think we've all seen the golf swing. I wish I could see it more in person, but we don't really run into them too much outside of some TaylorMade shoots and stuff like that. But obviously some great golf, some historic stuff, and hopefully she keeps it up. No, does not get boring. I think hitting a really well-struck golf shot close to the pin is like an addicting feeling. Like
Obviously.
I mean, I think that's something that's cool about the game is that's what keeps everybody coming back. Golf's a game that drives people nuts, and then all of a sudden you hit this great shot, and it feels wonderful, and it flies right up there by the pin, and it just gives everybody hope. And sometimes that's how I feel out there. I love the feeling of a well-struck golf shot. I love this game. I love going out and practicing by myself. I love playing golf, gambling at home with people, just messing around. The game of golf's been a huge part of my life now for a long time, and Lord willing, it'll be part of my life, for a long time going forward as well. I mean, not really. I think it's funny how quickly the narrative can change around here. I think a lot of people are just prisoners of the moment, and if I didn't win this week, I'm sure it would be a lot different, but I'm the same guy I was 2 months ago, and I'll be the same person 2 months from now no matter what happens. So I don't get too caught up in that stuff. I'm not going to sit here and say, I told you so or anything like that, because I didn't. I've just been keeping my head down and trying to do the best I can, and outside of that, I've got the blinders on for the most part. I think it's always tough to manage that kind of stuff. I think that's what I talked a little bit about, how good I've been mentally, is because I do have high expectations of myself, and when things don't go the way that I plan them, it is frustrating because you put in the work. I am prepared when I step up there in the first tee, and I want to play well, and so when things aren't going the way that I feel like they should, it can be very frustrating. And so I think that's part of the constant battle within myself is, making sure I stay in the present, don't get too high, don't get too low, all that kind of stuff. And I feel like I've been doing a pretty good job of that the last, really for the most part for this year. I knew I'd gone a while without making a bogey. It doesn't really come into my thoughts too much out there, and I'm counting 18 as a par, by the way, too. That's not a bogey. I had driver 3-wood in there, and I wasn't about to try and chip it close to the pin and chip it over the green in the water, so I just chipped out there about 20 feet and then lagged it up there. But yeah, I mean, I think I was a little bit aware of it, but it's not something that I'm thinking about at all during the round. But I think kind of in the back of your head, you're aware that you're kind of running through a pretty good stretch.